Good morning, Facebook. This is Joe Bernstein here. I only have a few minutes, so I won't go long today. What I'm pointing you towards, as you're going to see in the comments, or actually in the body of this, is a link to a podcast I did almost 2 years ago with Shannon James on the Man Alive podcast. And the topic is how to ask for what you want without seeming weak and needy. Now, whenever I bring up the title of that content, because I've written about it, I've done presentations and live workshops, I did this podcast about it, I get so many people saying, oh my God, you have to teach me the formula. You have to show me how this works. So in this particular podcast, I do have the formula. I have 7 steps to asking for what you want. But I also have this other side of it, which is the 3 paradoxes to owning what you want and be willing to ask for it, which are really challenging contextually. There's something that you have to learn to live in the middle of, hence paradox. So I want to tell you a little bit about how one of the steps I took that was really powerful for me, that showed me that I can always be a creator, meaning I can always have control, some level of control over asking for what I want. And I always have a choice in what I do. A creator is someone who embodies courage, learns to confidently and effectively ask for what they want, as opposed to hiding what they want, or as opposed to hinting at what they want. So it was the end of my career. This was early 2015, January 2015. I was still working for Bose. I'd been with them 14 years. And frankly, what had happened was I was done. But I wanted to give my district manager a long-term notice. I wanted to give her about a month of notice. Because I just didn't want to leave the team in a bad situation, even though I knew I was done with the position, I was done with the industry, I was done with the career. And so something had happened. I'd given them a month notice, but then they had found a manager to move from Chicago to cover my spot. And what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to leave the store for a month without a leader, without a manager. But I also was unwilling anymore, knowing I was leaving, to stay a whole nother month and work 40, 50, 60, sometimes more hours than that, and to not get paid for overtime and to have to work nights and weekends. I was just done with that. So I thought I could choose to stay on another month, serve the team, give one last month, but it would be at a big sacrifice, right? It was where what I didn't want to do was impacted, or I should say, impacted by the choice that I wanted to make, which was be a good, responsible man who leaves the store in a good place and hands it over to the next guy. So what ended up happening was essentially I got creative. The old Joe, the consumer or victim-y Joe, would say, well, I either have to cut and run, and I have to feel a little bit of shame about leaving the store with no manager for a month when I know someone's coming, or I have to choose to be all in and I have to choose to sacrifice for another month. But at that point, I had done a lot of work internally, and I knew that there was a third way. So I simply asked my district manager, can you hire me on as a temporary contractor? Can you pay me X amount, which was an hourly rate that was far higher than what my actual salary would have broken down to? And my agreement to be of service here is I will work a few shifts a week so the store is not in trouble. I won't work weekends. I won't work nights. But I do want to help the store out for another month. That helped me live within my values. It helped me grab that personal time. It helped me grab the early stages of a period of a sabbatical that I really wanted, but without just ditching the store in a bad place. It helped me be the man I wanted to be because I was willing to ask for what I want. Now you have to learn to do this with some effectiveness, with confidence, with courage, with clarity. You have to help paint a vision for the other person of what's possible. You have to be willing to enroll people in the process of coming up with a solution. But when you do learn this is a powerful skill that'll unleash capacities within your relationships and your business and your career that you didn't think possible. There's always a lot more on the menu than what's just on the menu. And a creator knows that, and they're willing to ask for what they want, to create solutions with others. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. Go ahead and click on the link and listen to this podcast. It'll actually really be helpful for you, especially right now going into the holidays. And you're going to have some challenging conversations because it's basically principles of challenging conversation with some of your loved ones as well. So it'll be beneficial for you this week at Thanksgiving dinner, as well as things like salary negotiations or things like asking for what you want with an intimate relationship. So check it out. Let me know how you enjoy it. And start finding your gratitude right now, because this is a week about gratitude and thankfulness So tap into that and start loving yourself, loving life, and expressing it into the world, and be the creator that I know you can be, that confident, bold, loving creator. That's what I got for you. I have a client in 1 minute. Peace.